I'm Old House Adam, and me and my wife renovate some of the coolest historic houses on the internet. But when this account started, it was actually for my print shop, and one of my employees told me I should start making TikToks. So we did, but then the pandemic hit, and I had to abruptly close my shop, and it was never the same. But since we got married 10 years before that, we'd been renovating historic homes as a passion on the side. So with the shop closed, I started documenting the process of us renovating this historic home that we had just purchased. And since the business was closed and we didn't know where money was going to come from in the future, I ended up doing a lot of it myself. We went super viral. We had articles written about us in Southern Living magazine, features in Realtor.com, Business Insider. And recently we had the opportunity to film for the Magnolia Network, which is going to air December 20th this year. And many of you may not know, but I didn't have social media. I maybe had like 2,000 followers on Instagram when all this started. And after a while, I decided that I wasn't going back to printing t-shirts and I was gonna do this full time. So I left my career as a screen printer and I started renovating houses full time. My wife and I both went to art school, so we like to think of this as our art now. We're honoring these homes and we're giving them a new life, but also we're putting our spin on it from an artist's perspective. And sometimes I feel like I'm in a Nicholas Sparks movie. It's crazy. But she's an incredible designer and I love turning her ideas into these beautiful projects, and it's just something beautiful that we do together. And after we finished our house, we got our first flip house. Looks pretty nice, right? But it started like a cabin shack in the woods. We found snakes in the walls, there were grenades, cat skulls, rooms full of poop. There was a reason this thing was only $60,000. We put $90,000 in it and we sold it for $265,000. And then it was off to the races. We started buying more and more of these historic homes, renovating them, trying to make them as if we were gonna live in them. And one of the biggest things for me is we live in this town, Concord, North Carolina, and it is growing so fast because of development, and they're constantly tearing down these historic homes. So what we're doing is we're getting them before the developers can, or houses that have been abandoned. We're putting them back into the community, and we're kind of keeping the character that brought all these people here in the first place. And since we've created this account, I've spent every day trying to hone my craft and make these houses as beautiful as possible, being budget friendly and as creative as we possibly can. And even though when we get these houses, they're like super ugly, they also have this really just beautiful thing about them. And when we're done with them, they just feel like they've been like this the whole time. And they're just these beautiful storybook homes that we love. And we're super proud to do this. It's a family business. And so one day I see my kids, saving old homes and, sort of being pillars of the community and taking these shacks that have been neglected and breathing life back into them. And people always ask me how I started. And the truth is, when Jessica and I got married, we were poor. We didn't have anything. We couldn't get a house. And I literally traded rent for working on this old historic house that was missing a roof. I literally put a roof on this thing using YouTube. So we started somewhere and now we've built this awesome business, and social media has been a huge part of it. And it's something that I never saw coming. And I think that's proof of just sort of following God's plan and being led to these just journeys and taking a chance and putting family and community and just your passions first. But this is a super long video. I don't know if anybody actually made it to the end of this video, but today I want to say I'm thankful for everybody that's followed along, and I'm thankful for the blessings that I've received. And we've got a show coming out on December 20th this year, so please check it out, Magnolia Network.